Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Nyaga. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here. Any other time we have a man on board, the man must be looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. But because today we have a man, I will tell you the kind of woman he is looking for. But before then, if you're watching us for the first time, this is the Matchmaker show. We help men and women to get matches. And the moment they get the right ones, they meet their destinies. So you're not lost. If you're new to the show, subscribe, like the video, and don't forget to leave a comment. Also, the contacts of our guest will be on my Facebook page at Nyaga. So you can follow Nyaga on Facebook and you'll be getting these updates in real time. Our guest on today's show is Mr. Nyaga, and Mr. Nyaga is from the United Kingdom. He's a Kenyan by birth, working and living in the UK. Most people who are working in the diaspora have gone there for greener pastures. Otherwise, the end game, unless or except a few cases, most of them will still retire back in Kenya. Whether they are from any part of Africa, if you are from Uganda, for instance, and you are working in the diaspora, you will still go back to Uganda after retirement. So Mr. Nyaga is a Kikuyu man, single and searching. And you could be asking yourself, at the age of 62, why is he single? What kind of a woman is he looking for? And questions like that. The moment we begin to answer those questions, that is the moment we begin to understand whether or not we will be interested in a guest. So these guests are analyzed. We give basics of their lives, the stories they want shared. And at the end of the day, you are the person making a decision. So he wants somebody who will love him not because he is in the UK. He wants somebody who will love him not because of what he can offer, even as a husband, but because of what he can be able to do in that office of husband. Because even the office of wife or the office of husband is an office of responsibility. People have their own chores. You have your do's and don'ts. There are responsibilities that are delegated to you. There are duties you must perform. And that is what matters. So it is not so much about what one has as an individual, but who they are, even as a person. Their moral kind of box, their kind of belief system. You see, the things they believe in, who they are as individuals, not because of what they have. So Mr. Nyaga is a 61 going 62, so you can even call him 62, and he believes that he can get a wife. He is amongst the people who have been watching this show for the longest time, hoping that he will be able to get a glimpse. He will be able to gather enough courage. There are people who started watching this show from the time we began. Others became addicted, and they are like, why not? People are coming and getting matches. People are coming, getting posted. And you see, the good thing about getting posted is that you can always make sure that you choose the best from the rest. You are choosing from a point of abundance. You are not choosing from a point of scarcity, because the people who have chosen to contact you have developed one form of interest or another, meaning they have liked you. They have taken their time to either write or call you directly. And now you become the ultimate decision maker. So Mr. Nyaga is a widowed man. You see, a widower is a man who has lost his wife through death. And this man believes that it is not yet time for him to come and settle, because he has not been able to accomplish some of the things or most of the things that he would have wanted to accomplish here. And he is in a part called, let me check, Birmingham. He is in Birmingham, and he is working as a garbage collector. And working as a garbage collector is so that he can be able to meet ends, to make ends meet. And there are people who have been able to do other types of jobs. There are people who are in the healthcare industry. Others are nurses there. Others are caregivers. Others are in the hospitality industry. There are so many jobs, so security jobs. Others are expatriates. An expatriate is somebody who has been hired in a foreign nation because of their expertise. Okay, that person can be called an expatriate. For instance, if you are a doctor, you hear this called Cuban doctors. If you are a doctor, for instance, and you have been asked to go to a different country to offer your services in the capacity of a doctor, you are an expatriate. There are men that I post on this show. For instance, we have a white man who is currently in Kenya, in Nairobi. He is an engineer. He is doing these things of synonymous to the affordable housing, but very close to what Konza City are doing in development of urban homes. So, because of his capacity as an engineer, he can be called an expatriate because that is what he has come to do. It is his expertise that paid for his visa. It is his expertise that so made him an engineer in a foreign nation, and he has been accorded whatever dignity there is. Just like people who work with the United Nations, these are expatriates. But if you come to Kenya and you are working on any job that can be found, irrespective of the amount of money, in fact, you can make more money even than an expatriate, but you are not an expatriate. So I hope you now get the difference. So Mr. Nyaga is not an expatriate. He's just somebody who went to look for greener pastures. And good thing about people who work in those developed countries. For instance, if you work in the US, irrespective of the nature of job, you are paid in hours. They have what we call the minimum wage policy. It's in the US, it's there in Canada, it is there in. That's why it's very expensive. You cannot hire a nanny in the US if you don't have good money. It's very expensive. In Canada, in Australia, in Europe, it's very difficult to hire a nanny. What you call house manager. It is quite difficult. But again, it is good that you put the word out about who you are and honestly declare the kind of interest you have so that people who are interested will be able to get in touch. So he is looking for a woman from the ages of 55 kwenda chini, and his wife passed on. He has just lived in the UK for 10 years, and before his wife passed on, they had plans to travel together to go and look for greener pastures. And one of them got a passport, the other one waited for the other one. They were not doing well while they were here. So he is not asking people to develop a lot of expectations just because he's in the UK. He is not what you can call wealthy, he says. He's just an average man looking for a woman who is average and somebody who can be contented with an average life. However, that woman can either be in UK, US, and willing to relocate and be with him. Because before it is done, before it is done, before he has decided that he has accumulated at least enough to sustain him when he comes back to Kenya. Because at his age, you are not expecting him to come and venture into active business. Maybe what he can venture into is passive business, where other people can be given responsibilities to act on his behalf. Otherwise, even as you age, your energy dwindles. You understand what I mean? So we are wishing him well. Mr. Nyaga is single. He's a Christian. He is a devoted Christian. And by the way, he was referred to the show and they started watching together for a long time with a guy I recently brought on the show. And he was a pastor. He had a calling in ministry. Lakini yeye alibahatika na akapata. He is also in the UK. But that one is, I think, is in Manchester. But for Nyaga, he's in Birmingham. And from our desk, we can only wish him well, hoping he gets a good wife. And that is what this show is all about. So if you are there, you are single and searching, and you would also want to be posted, just like Mr. Nyaga, you can get in touch to my, or you can get in touch with my team and contact this number, which is 0712 997 660, and you'll be able to contact my desk and they will be able to handle your case and serve you accordingly. Until then, we can only wish him well, hoping he gets his desires fulfilled. But until then, this is Denganjel Check whether you have subscribed to our YouTube channel. Check whether you are watching without liking, because this year gonna get to a higher level. We will achieve more than we were able to achieve last year by God's grace. I'll see you in the next video.